just in bloom for me and you.
Hello and welcome to a new edition of Healing Through Nature. This is going to be a very short video today. All I'm announcing is the release of our new book, A Complete Body Repair, Healing Candida, Parasites, and Heavy Metal Toxicity Naturally. The purpose of this book is to get to the root cause of issues and how you can diagnose and treat them potentially at home. One of the things we've noticed over 20 years plus of practice is that we get a lot of patients who come into the clinic literally in tears because they are so frustrated after years of going to doctor after doctor after doctor, of trying to get a diagnosis for a problem, and they're frustrated, they're angry, they're sad, they cannot get the diagnosis they need, which means they're therefore not even getting the treatment that's required for them to have a better quality of life and to heal. All right, well, unfortunately, in the medical community today, as other MDs have come up and actually admitted to me, unfortunately, in most med schools, they are not very adept at teaching doctors how to treat chronic long-term diseases. It's one thing to treat acute. You break a toe, you have a cold or a fever or something of that nature, but chronic illnesses, a lot of doctors are ill-equipped at treating for the root cause, for curing the condition. A lot of them will treat their symptoms, but they will not treat the actual cause of the condition. So we see it every day in the clinic, and it's frustrating for us as well. It breaks our heart to see them coming in and being so frustrated and sad and brokenhearted themselves. So the purpose of this book is to introduce to you what we believe are the main root causes of most chronic conditions and how you can work with these and treat them at home. All right, as an example, one of the most misdiagnosed conditions that we find in the United States currently is Lyme disease. We've talked about Lyme in previous episodes. Please feel free to go look at those. But Lyme is usually misdiagnosed as ALS, lupus, muscular dystrophy, multiple sclerosis. The list goes on and on and on. All right, and so these patients get diagnosed with a multitude of these other illnesses. They'll come to our clinic frustrated because nothing's being done for them. And then we go, let's go ahead and dig a little bit deeper, and very often, even by CDC standards, we find that they actually have Lyme disease and were never properly diagnosed. All right, and so then once we find out what it is, we can treat for it, and it can go much better after that. So why am I talking about Lyme? All right, Lyme is not, while some can consider Lyme as the root cause of their condition, and in many cases it can certainly be or appear that way, but there are over 300,000 new cases of Lyme disease in the United States every year, 6 times more than new cases of HIV. So Lyme is actually one of the new pandemics going about throughout the United States and throughout the world. But again, Lyme itself is not the root cause. It is a bacteria that got a foothold. How did the bacteria get a foothold? Through a suppressed immune system. Your immune system suppressed, therefore the Lyme is able to take hold. Every day we are exposed to conditions like Lyme and H. pylori bacteria, Epstein-Barr virus. The list goes on and on. If we have a strong immune system, it will not be able to take hold. So what we have found in our practice over 20 plus years is there are 3 major reasons that are the root causes of most conditions in the world, because they all 3 have something in common. They suppress the immune system and allow you to be open to co-infections and other types of issues and illnesses. And what are those 3 conditions? Candida, parasites, and heavy metal toxicity. Candida, as you've seen from previous videos in our series, Candida affects uneasily 70% of most Americans in the United States, mainly due because almost everyone gets an antibiotic at least once in their life, and that's all it takes. Okay, parasites, the CDC even said that 1 out of 6 Americans are infested with parasites. I personally think that is a conservative number because at the clinic we actually see quite a bit more than that. And then finally, heavy metal toxicity. Heavy metal toxicity is ramping in the United States as industry grows and more metals are being used for computers and smartphones. And in the appliance, there's now mercury in the lights that are now hanging up in many homes. So we are being exposed to heavy metal at an ever-increasing rate. All right, all three of these conditions can suppress your immune system and leave you open to other issues. We talk about this in the book. So what's the book about? The book describes each one of these conditions in detail, what they are, how you could have been exposed or how you could have contracted these illnesses. What are the symptoms? What are the diseases that are associated with these types of conditions? You might read through this book and go, well, I have such and such a disease. Oh, it's also associated with this as a possible root cause. We talk about what conventional treatments are being used for those, conventional, like in hospitals and most doctors' offices, and unfortunately how ineffective they usually are. And then finally, this is the exciting part for me. This is why we wanted to develop this book. We put in your hands the methods for treatment that you can do at home. In this book, it teaches you how to diagnose and treat these conditions on your own if you so choose. Now in the book, I still recommend it as always good to be under the care of a qualified healthcare provider. But this book does teach you how, in case you do not have one, it even gives you how to go get the test done yourself without having a local doctor's prescription to run the tests. There are many, many sites out today that will run the test for you at a low cost in order to do this without having to have your doctor sign the prescription for it. And then once you have those tools in place, we show you how you can treat these yourself. Again, we always recommend you be under the care of a qualified healthcare provider, but these gives you the tools to learn to work and treat yourself if need be. All right. Always remember that the word doctor actually goes back to Latin and ancient Greek, and it means teacher. We're supposed to be healers. We're supposed to help treat you, but it is also part of our job to teach you how to take care of yourself so that you don't have to come back to us, so you don't have to be part of a doctor's retirement program, right? All right, so this book will actually help you learn how to diagnose and treat on your own if you do not have access to another doctor, for example. All right, so in the description below, we talk about what's in the book. We also give you a link to the Amazon site. It's available in both ebook and paperback. If you get the book, please let us know how you feel. Did it help you? Please feel free to post in the comments below. We would love to hear back from you. It is our job to make sure that you have the tools in hand to take care of yourself and not have to rely on other doctors. All right? All right. So remember, number one thing in life is attitude, joy. Always keep your attitude up. Studies show that helps keep your immune system strong. All right? All of you have a most blessed day. Bye-bye.
Let me bring you songs from the woods to make you feel much better than you could know.